Today I'll be teaching you how to actually make profit in bar soap making using cold procedure. To some extent, profit in bar soap makings are best with hot procedures or semi-hot process, but we can manage in cold process today. So if you're a lover of cold process, please stay tuned. I'll be listing all the measurement that I use in making this particular soap on the screen. So just use your jotting pad to write them down. I won't be writing it in the description box. It will be boldly written on the screen as we progress. Please use 5 seconds of your time to subscribe to my channel and also like this video so that others who are also in need of this video can see it. I'll be teaching you how we can combine oils to make a very perfect soap. Your soap will be hard immediately after you finish making it. You can cure for like a week, then you sell and it foams properly. Thank you. Soaps you make at home with at least 1 to 10 liters of oil should not be compared with factory or mechanized soaping in all ramifications, both in quality, in their prices, and otherwise. Because mechanized soaping and factory soap are actually cheaper compared to homemade one. But in this tutorial, I will be teaching you how to actually use a cold process to make a little bit profit of your method. So this is a complete cold process. So my lye, I actually mixed it 24 hours before the time of use. Likewise, my soda ash, although soda ash you may not really need to soak it 24 hours before then. For the lye solution, which is caustic soda solution, is 500 grams in 1 liter of water. Just dilute it and keep it aside. For the soda ash, you also dilute 500 grams but in 1.5 liters of water. So by the next day you are making the soap, you combine the two solutions together and then you add in calcium carbonate if you need. In this method, cold procedures, I actually don't like using calcium carbonate in it. Calcium carbonate is best for hot process or semi-hot process, a soap that actually gels perfectly. That way it wouldn't show, your soap will be smooth compared to a cold procedure, cold process way of making soap. Seriously, the two is different. So what I added here was calcium of just 100 grams. 100 grams you can actually not add, or if you are concerned with the weight of your soap, you can even go in with as far as 600 grams of calcium carbonate. There is no issue with that. So because I'll be making use of a oil combination, I will be adding foam booster. I added the store-bought grade of foam booster, 500 ml, which is a half a liter. The one that is sold in the chemical stores where they buy chemicals for liquid soap. This is actually the foam booster that is used in making liquid soap. So I got half a liter of it. I'm adding it to this recipe. Half liter of foam booster. That's what I just added now. Then you also buy and add half liter of sodium silicate to the same mixture and mix everything together. Remember that in the soda ash I wrote on the screen there, please do not forget, it's not only soda ash I diluted in the water, I also diluted sodium sulfate with the soda ash and mixed it separately, then combine it with the caustic soda solution. If you want, you can go back and read the screen or screenshot it. The measurements are actually on the screen, everything I used. So after mixing everything, you can go ahead and add in your fragrance. One major problem and challenge that cold process soapers have is their fragrance. They always complain that the palm kernel oil they are using always smell funny, or if you are using tallow, that their soap doesn't smell well. They end up using a lot of fragrance. Some may even end up using almost more than 100 ml and nothing happens. Please, let me tell you today, if you are into cold process making, if you can even ignore the fragrance, please ignore it, because there is nothing you can do about it. All the fragrance that is being sold in the market is diluted, and they are all, they are diluted and they are fake. If you can buy original undiluted fragrance directly from the drum, it will be the best option for you. Or if you see an option of somebody that can share and give you that undiluted fragrance, please buy. Mine is actually undiluted fragrance I'm using. So for this cold procedure, I'm just using like 30 to, you saw the little I poured, 30 to 50 ml. and it will come out perfectly in my soap because I'm sure of the fragrance I'm using. Also, you can also add your fragrance in your soda ash solution, this water now. You can just pour it in here instead of adding it to the soap so that your soap will not spoil. As in, what I mean is, you don't add it when you're about to pour your soap in the mold. Some fragrance may end up tilting your soap batter trace, and then will make your soap to separate at that stage. But if you add it here and you are sure of the quality of the fragrance you are using, you are good to go. Actually, a 25-liter keg of fragrance is actually very expensive, ranging from almost $350 to $500. In Nigerian currency, is almost around 350,000 naira to 500,000 naira. And it is very expensive. So if somebody's telling you that, yes, come, I will sell fragrance for you very cheap, my sister, my brother, run. Because all the things you've been buying so far is actually diluted. They dilute it so that they can be able to make profit out of it. That is why you have been having issues on it. So instead of you spending a lot of money with buying a lot of perfume for your cold procedure, just let it go. Just use the little you can use. So far your soap is hard and is foaming, the people will understand and they will buy it. And stop comparing your soap to the Viva soap that is sold in the market. For the oils, you can make use of 3 liters of palm kernel oil. But if you want to cut down cost and make some more profit, you can do 2 liters of palm kernel oil, which is the oil that will offer lathering property to the soap, and 1 liter of any other oil. Example, palm oil, the red palm oil that is bleached, or tallow oil, 1 liter. So the total is 3 liters. So to the oil I added titanium dioxide, which is the white powder I added. You have to take your time, almost 30 minutes, to actually stir in titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide takes a very long time to be able to mix properly with oil. What I mean, almost 30 minutes or more than, if you actually want to mix it well. Once you are done with your oil, you can now pour in your mixture, your caustic soda solution. Pour it in, turn it, you see it being very creamy and soft. If you add too much of palm oil, like the people that make 50%, let's say palm kernel oil 1.5 liter, palm oil 1.5 liter, or some persons may even do palm kernel oil 1 liter, palm oil 2 liters. In that case, immediately they add in their lye solution, they may end up having thick trace. It is not as if your oil is bad. No, it's because of the oil of choice. Palm oil have a lot of palmitic acid in it, and once it comes in contact with caustic soda, it saponifies quickly and traces quickly. It is not a matter of the quality of the oil. That is how the oil is made up. The fatty acid profile of palm oil is made up differently, and also tallow can also do that too. But with this procedure, you have less of that if you actually combine your oils at a very good ratio. More of the palm oil and palm kernel oil and less of the combination oil. The reason we are adding this combination oil is to make our soap last longer. Or using only palm kernel oil to make soap, yes, it will give you a very high foaming soap, but it may not last well when the person is using it to wash, especially if the person leaves the soap in the bucket of water while washing. But if you're able to combine another oil to the palm kernel oil you are using to make your soap, you also achieve the soap being lathering perfectly, and you also achieve the soap lasting, long-lasting soap. So this procedure, cold procedures, are known for this kind of quality of soap. A soap that lathers and a soap that lasts very well. So it boils down to the quality of the oils you use and the type of oils you mix. Once you are done, pour into your mold and leave it for 24 hours. There are also other profit recipes for hot procedures. Those are the ones that are actually in my paid group, that you can even make more with just this little quantity of oil. There are some semi-hot process, hot process, and it will give you a very fine finish soap. All the same, let's continue. So after 24 hours, your mold, because it's cold process, just wait for 24 hours, please. And then you cut your soap. You can see the way we'll cut this soap today. My mold is perfectly made for the quantity of oils I use. This is a 10 inches by 13 inches soap mold. You understand? I think 10 by 13. That's what I have. So if I cut for 4 inches by length, I will end up with 12 inches, and 1 inches will be a cutout that will be left beside. So after splitting my log into long bars, then I also splitted it again into 2. So I will have 2 layers. Yes, so the first layer will give me 27 pieces of soap, while the second layer will also give me 27 pieces of soap. 9 by 4. I will end up with 27 down, 27 up. And once you add 27 plus 27, you end up with 54 pieces of soap plus cutouts. Those cutouts, after melting it or rebadging it, or maybe you can just take it to the fire and melt it immediately and pour it into a smaller mold. My cutouts will give me anything ranging from 6 to 7 pieces of soap. So at the end, I'm supposed to have 60 pieces of soap from just these 3 liters of oil. If you go back to this video and make sure you write down the measurement that I left on the screen and follow the voiceover that I'm using on this video perfectly, you have a good soap. You will not go wrong. Note that immediately you finish mixing your caustic and oil and you have a creamy batter, just please rush and pour into your mold. There is no time to wait, especially if you are combining oils. You end up having your soap will just sticking inside your mixing bowl. So please don't do that, and don't come and say that when you tried it your soap got very hard inside your mold. Always consider the oils you use. If you are blending with palm oil, you always have that issue, I'm telling you. But if you are making your soap with only palm kernel oil, you won't have it. But that does not mean that you won't make your soap with palm oil. Combine your soap with palm oil so that you have a very good quality soap. Just know your oils and know how they react, and then you work with it. The more you produce your soap, the more you make soap, the more you become advanced, and the more you know how to actually handle your soap. So if you are blending in palm oil, crude palm oil, bleached palm oil to your soap, you should already know the outcome, what you should be expecting. So you should be quick. Immediately you finish turning it and it's creamy enough, pour straight into your mold. And I believe that we all always prepare our mold before we start soaping. You don't start soaping before you go and prepare your mold. Your mold should be properly arranged and waiting for you to pour in your soap batter while you are mixing your soap. Please take out 1 second of your time to like this video and subscribe to my channel to make this video to actually move, and so that other persons may be able to see it. People who actually need this video can also see it. Thank you very much.